college football season may be over, but it only took Mark Kaplan a few weeks of crying to get over it. Now he's back to recap the week's college basketball action, and we're glad to welcome him back to Hoosier Sports Night for his segment, The Rundown.
This week had so many great games, it was hard to pick just one. So here's the recap of the weekend that was in college hoops. The #1 ranked Memphis Tigers opened the game against Gonzaga with a 10-0 run and got 21 points from Chris Douglas Roberts as they rolled to an 81-73 victory to extend their home win streak to 43 games. The second-ranked Kansas Jayhawks came out locked and loaded, and they used all their firepower to destroy Nebraska 84-49. Former IU player Patrick Ewing Jr. provided the game-winning block for the 9th-ranked Georgetown Hoyas, who beat West Virginia 58-57. There were some big upsets this weekend. The Florida Gators looked like defending champions as they opened the game with a 34-6 run and cruised to an 86-64 victory over 13th-ranked Vandy. With all that said, let's take a look at the new and improved ESPN USA Today Top 25. UCLA moved back in the top 5. Michigan State moved up 3 places to the 7th spot. Stanford made the biggest shockwaves as they relocated 7 spots to end up at 14. On the opposite side, Ole Miss dropped all the way down to 22, and the Florida Gators re-entered the top 25 as they settled down at 19. That's all, folks. I'm Mark Kaplan, and that was the rundown.
Have you ever actually watched a women's basketball game? Well, our Lady Hoosiers are performing at a high level this year, but is anyone noticing? Stephanie Stout went out to the Memorial Union to find out exactly what you think.
With the recent success of the women's basketball team, the question remains, has anyone noticed?
It's a big deal in the women's game too. I just think more people focus on the men's success, and I mean, it might be unfair, but I think it's just the way it is.
Attending basketball games just isn't, hasn't been a high priority for me.
If it's on TV, I'll watch a couple minutes, or if it's towards the end of the game, I'll see how they're doing.
It doesn't get very much coverage. It probably does deserve more. I don't really know how you could change that unless more fans start to demand it. And the problem is that there's a lot of male fans for sports in general, and they're most likely more interested in seeing more men play because they play themselves and follow those teams more.
With all the hype about the men's basketball team, does the thriving women's team stand a chance to earn the same recognition?
I think it has potential to be as big as men's basketball. They just need more fans.
Just more excitement. I think the men's game is more exciting.
So I don't see how they could really build a good fan basis for a women's team as much as men.
Looks as though that question still remains to be answered. Reporting from the Memorial Union, I'm Stephanie Stout, Hoosier Sports Night.
If the IU men's tennis team's New Year's resolution was to not lose a match, so far they've kept their promise. To this point, the team has posted a perfect record in 2008. Friday, they played host to Eastern Kentucky in the morning and Indiana State in the afternoon in what could prove to be the first true test for the Hoosiers in the new year.
The IU men's tennis team posted a dominant performance on Friday against Indiana State, going 3-0 in doubles and 7-0 in singles. The charge was led by senior Dara McLaughlin, whose doubles team came back from a 4-1 deficit to win by tiebreaker. He also won his singles match in straight sets.
You prepare them the best way you can, and we came out this morning probably thinking about this match a little more than I'd like them to, but we got the job done. So from the outside it looks like it's a great day, but inside we wanted to work on some things, and we came out this evening and did that, so it was a good job this evening.
I think they just came out and played a flawless first 4 games. They didn't miss a ball, and that was pretty intimidating. We weren't really sure what to do because everything we tried wasn't working, but once we just stick to a few really basic things that worked for us, and we just worked our way back into the match.
Next up for the Hoosiers, they will be at Iowa on February 2nd. And if the first 4 matches of 2008 is a hint, this is going to be one exciting season. From Bloomington, Indiana, I'm Brett Goldenhorn, Hoosier Sports Night.
Like the men, the IU women's tennis team came into Sunday with a perfect 2-0 record in the new year. On Sunday, they were at home taking on Duke in the early match and Butler later on. Ashley Braun was there to cover the event.
It was a bittersweet Sunday for the Lady Hoosier tennis team. IU fell to a tough Duke team, but bounced back to gain a victory over in-state foe Butler. Senior Brianna Williams topped nationally ranked Amanda Granson to provide Indiana with their only win against number 17 Duke.
It was really exciting for me. I've never beaten a ranked player, and I've always kind of wanted to. So it was a goal that I accomplished, so I was really excited about that. And since it's my senior year, I was glad I finally got to do that.
Brianna's always been a great team leader, even when she wasn't a senior, and she's doing a great job because it's tough when almost half your team are freshmen. You really need some good leadership, and she's providing that, and I think that's one of the reasons our freshmen are doing so well.
With the Duke loss behind them, IU bounced back in the afternoon, besting the Butler Bulldogs 7-0. Coach Lin Loring said the match allowed the team to apply the skills they practice.
We knew that Butler was going to be much weaker. We knew they had already lost to a team this year that we've beaten. So we used the Butler match to really work on some things. There's not a lot of matches you play where you can go out and actually work on things and still win. So we used that match to really work on some of the things we've been working on practice to actually carry over to matches.
After 2 competitive matches, the Hoosiers moved to 3-1 on the season. Indiana hopes to capture another victory when they host the Kentucky Wildcats Saturday. Reporting from the IU Tennis Complex, this is Ashley Braun, Hoosier Sports Night.
All right, so obviously a tough loss, Casey, for the Hoosiers on Saturday against UConn. What do you think Thursday when they go to Wisconsin?
Well, the Kohl Center is always a tough arena to play in, but if they can't pull that one out, I'm sure they won't have any trouble on Sunday against the lowly Wildcats.
Those pesky Wildcats have not won a game in the Big Ten. I don't know if they ever will. That is all the time we have on this edition of Hoosier Sports Night. He's Casey Richards. I'm Ronan O'Shea. We'll see you Friday with a Hoosier Sports Night update with coverage from Thursday night's game at Wisconsin.